What's going on, everybody? Welcome to PCG Live. Welcome to another PCG Live, the quarantine edition. What is going on, people? So, I am Van. It's our boy Kyle over here. What's going on, Dr. Eggplant?
Yeah, the
uh,
quarantine files.
the
That's what we're gonna call it now.
PCG Live, the quarantine edition. Um, Welcome to the show, another podcast. In case you don't know what we're about, we are about everything, all things gaming, and sometimes we talk about other things. But most of the
True,
time, we talk about gaming.
true.
We also have another co-host, Andre, which he isn't here today. He might join us later, who knows? And we have a guest that comes on every now and then, which is our boy Albert. We also occasionally have other guests every now and then, but you know, we try to, the hardcore group right now is me, Kyle, and Andre. So, um,
Yeah.
welcome to the podcast. So we have a lot to go over today. It feels like a lot. I don't know if it's 100% a lot, but it feels like a lot. But it's a lot of
Oh
good
no, it's
stuff.
a lot.
It's a lot of good
Let's just
stuff.
clarify something. It doesn't look like a lot. It's a lot though.
It's definitely a lot. But also it's also like very in depth and good talk
Yeah.
conversations. So I did awesome little thing. So now we're gonna actually be able to talk and do a little thing at the same time. So
Yeah.
let's go into our first topic, and that's gonna be Mafia.
Mafia.
The Mafia remake has been announced, and let me see what we got here. Today, 2K announced the Mafia trilogy for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, with a promise that more information will be revealed next week on May 19th. Unfortunately for the publishers, some of this information has already leaked out. At the top of this leak, information is the reveal that while Mafia 2 and Mafia 3 are simply getting the remastered treatment, the first game in the series is getting a full-blown remake and will be out this August. The spilled beans come way from this Microsoft Store, which went live with its listings for the game early. Included in this listing are screenshots that confirm it's the remaster, but a remake. Not a remaster, but a remake, and that it will be released August 28th, 2019. So, that's pretty cool, man.
Wait, what? Hold on. Um, I think this website made a mistake.
What's the mistake?
Uh,
Oh, 2020, 2020, not
I was
2019.
like,
Yeah,
so it's been out.
yeah, yeah.
Hello?
So, yeah, 2020, 2020. I didn't even realize too I said that. So, um,
It's not your fault. The website you know what that was like? That was almost you saw Anchorman, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
All right,
Look
that
what he
was
swore. Fuck
when
you,
he's
San Diego.
when he's reading off the yes, exactly. Reads off the teleprompter exactly what he said.
He was like,
Um,
that was a good take, guys. Everyone, that was a good take.
that was a good day.
Yeah, so if anyone that's familiar with the Mafia franchise, I think Mafia was PlayStation 2, if I'm correct.
I think you're
Yeah,
right.
I believe
I want to say PS3. Let me check. Oh, well, it said Xbox.
mm. So the
Yeah.
thing about Mafia, in case anyone that's not familiar, it's almost like a Grand Theft Auto, but around the 1930s crime mafia, which is actually one of my favorite themes. Like I love the 1930s, like mafia, like the zoot suits and stuff like that. I really get into that kind of detective work. I also like the steampunk version of that type of era, where it's all retro like that, but futuristic as well. But
Yeah.
I'm super into the old mafia kind of like click stuff. Like the Godfathers, I was really into one. Two was all right. Three, I wanted to shoot myself.
A lot of people say that. I actually never saw Godfather 3 yet, and everybody keeps saying that it's bad. So it's like, okay, well then I'm glad I didn't see 3 yet.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But all in all, I'm excited for this. I think this is going to be a great remakes up the ass, dude. Huh?
oh god, yeah. Listen, that's the trend right now.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's the major trend. Remakes. Remake. You know, Resident Capcom's going crazy with remakes right now with Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3. Uh and I just heard rumors the other day that other big titles were Capcom might be coming out because they wanted to sell like 24 million units. Not to go off subject, but they wanted to sell like 24 million units by like the end of the year. And I was like,
My
what?
question is, are we going to see soon our very first fighting game remake?
As far as Street Fighter?
Ah, no, I'm not even saying Capcom. I'm saying in general.
Oh,
Like,
in general?
yeah.
I don't think remakes would fit with fighting
I think
games.
it would be dope. Like,
I
imagine like a Bloody Roar remake. Like that would be fantastic. Like I would love that.
Yeah, but at that point, just make it. See, I feel
No,
like
no, 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 no.
certain genres can be okay. Let's remake it because it was such a classic and so. Fighting games just doesn't fit that. I think.
See, but
I
like
just
I think you could do it with the games that are like the fighting games that are like really heavy on their story base. Like Street Fighter has come down to the nature of you can do it. So like if you ask me, like Third Strike would be a fantastic remake. Like everyone loved Third Strike. It was so good. You can still keep it as a platformer. Like make it a
yeah.
remake platformer. Like I think that would be really cool and fun.
I don't. It's just. I just don't know if I'm sold on it personally. Only because certain fighting games have a certain style that they play as. For example, Third Strike, everybody's used to how that is played, with the parrying, uh frame rate, and I don't know, it's like maybe it's just, they're used to how it works that way. I mean, I'm not saying they couldn't up, up the not the like the fighting engine
Mm.
and make it a little bit different, but then I don't know if you're gonna get like the hardcore Third Strike players that it'll go nuts and be like, this isn't the same game that was before. It might be worse. So I don't know. I'm not opposed to it.
Mm.
It's just I don't know if it would work for a remake. Maybe if, like, story wise.
Well, I challenge you, Capcom, to give that a shot. So
Oh, I mean, I mean, I'll accept that challenge.
I would love to
And,
see
and
that.
my
I'd love to see that.
oh,
Um,
absolutely.
the next one is a really big one. This was like this almost blew up like the internet. Like
Oh,
this was a huge one. This was a huge
ah,
one.
ah,
Yes, everybody.
ah.
Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake announced for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Tony Hawk Pro Skater is back as Activision has announced Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 compilation remake of the first. Oh, I didn't even get to say what I wanted to say. Segue into another remake. Look at
Oh,
segues.
no,
Are,
you blew the segue
look at
already.
no, look at segues are now in Tony Hawk.
Segues are now in Tony Hawk. It's great. I
so
can grind with a segue.
let me see. A compilation remake of the first two THPS games developed by Crash Bandicoot and Insane Trilogy Studio. What? How do you pronounce it? Varsis Visions.
THP's games developed by Crash Bandicoot and Saint Trilogy Studio Vicarious
Oh,
Visions,
Vicarious
which
Visions. Yep,
has
yep,
a long history with the series.
yep. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 will be released for PS4, Xbox One, and PC via the Epic Games Store, which that is a big shock. Like that's crazy. Epic Games is they're just going nuts with their games. That is going to be the new. Not it will never catch up to Steam. It's got a long time to catch up to Steam.
I know,
Um,
I hate that. Oh.
but it's getting there. It's definitely a good one.
Yep.
And it will be available on September 4th, 2020, with pre-orders offering fans early access to a demo of iconic warehouse level. The game is remake. Let me just shut the volume off so that way that's not going to keep going. Um, the game is remake compiling the first two games in the beloved Tony Hawk Pro Skater franchise, including all levels, even the secret ones. And IGN spoke with Victorious Visions studio head Jen O'Neill to learn more about what's new in returning to the Tony Hawk Pro Skaters 1 and 2. This is very exciting. Like this is awesome news. Anyone that was huge into video games whatsoever at the PlayStation 1 era um, was like super in love with Tony Hawk. Like at one point in time, played Tony Hawk. I think Tony Hawk Pro Skater was in the top 10 most played games in history.
Absolutely. By the way, N64 as well.
Yep, yep,
making sure
yep.
that you point
Yeah, I liked it. I think it ran better on PlayStation, just due to like at that time what
Oh,
it
I'm
had.
sure it did with
But
the
but
stupid
like though a lot of people didn't have PlayStation at that time. A lot of
that
people were in 64.
that newfangled CD technology back in the day, you know?
Yeah, I just couldn't like. I loved N64, but that controller, if I could get it on PlayStation, I had to get it on PlayStation.
Hey, man, what other controller, though, could you hold it 3 different ways and still be able to play the game?
Yeah, right. So, what was your experience as a child playing Tony Hawk? Like,
Oh
are you
my
excited about this?
oh my goodness. Oh my good like, did you see me do, like, the happy clap like a Nutty Professor?
Yeah,
When he does, like, "Oh, it's Sherman, Sherman."
yeah, yeah.
I'm hyped. I played so much Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 back in the day. I did everything in those games.
Hmm, hmm,
All the tapes, up all the stats, got all the characters, every single thing that you could do in both those games, I did. I loved those games.
hmm,
I used to do, like, crazy combos in that game off a vert into a grind, start jump off a railing. It was there was some crazy shit in
Bring,
those games. The
bring it
holy
to me.
cow
Put
grind
your
in the
gloves on and
first
bring it to me.
level.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the holy cow grind in the first game in the ware. Oh my god.
Oh
I
yeah,
I remember it took me so long to do it because it was such a long grind
yeah, yeah.
and like I tried to do it off like a special move grind, like a dark slide or it was like 5-0 slide. Um, and I just couldn't get it. It
Mhm,
was you had to go around the corner. Sometimes you didn't get enough speed and you would barely get it. And the bad thing is at the end of it, there was a wall. So you had to jump off
mhm,
and wall ride to
mhm,
get to land it. And a lot of times you would jump and smack into the wall and lose it right there.
mhm, mhm. Yeah,
It was it was crazy. But so many good levels. The warehouse, obviously, like I said. Venice Beach is another amazing level. The airport hangar in T8 and 2 was a really good one. I forgot what the school in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 was another great one. There was that one level in 1. Well, there's the mall. The mall's a good level. But there was that one where you like went down and it was just pretty much like a straight downhill, but you like grinded off pipes. I forgot what it was called though. Somebody remind me what that level was called.
yeah. I can never remember the level, like the name of the levels. Like I was saying in the chat, man, Tony Hawk 2 Paparazzi, man. I just kept that song on repeat. But so many, like when I got to the pools, all I did was just grind the entire outside of the pool. Like I remember like I was nowhere near the greatest. Like I can't be like, oh, I was the greatest. I know my brother was really 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 good at it.
Mhm.
But like that game made it so fun to do tricks. Like even the stupidest, simplest tricks, like Tony Hawk 360, the just like small stupid movies as far as like ollies, like even felt good doing ollies, just grinding on your board, on the side of your board. Like it was just so dope. Like
Oh,
the
I was
nostalgia of this game, and this is something that we've been talking about actually. This is something we were talking about at the beginning of the year. Like we need another Tony Hawk.
with the failure of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5,
Hmm,
we kind of needed something like this,
hmm,
and we're getting it.
hmm, hmm. And it's so funny because like someone posted on one of our friends walls, and I restrain myself. Like I've cut back a lot on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook as much as I used to be.
Yeah,
There's just since this pandemic, a lot of things they just frustrate me on social media. So I've been kind of trying to stay away from it a little bit.
understandable.
Um, to the point of like if I look at it on my phone, I even close it. I'm like I can't. I catch myself closing it, and I go to like blog sites. I try to support a lot more. But anywho, um like someone posted on someone's page like Tony Hawk 5 is so bad, hopefully it's not that bad. Listen, this is a remake of 1 and 2. This isn't like them trying to just make a new game. They're taking the game and just remaking it. and there's
Right.
nothing you can do better than a remake. Like we haven't had a failed remake yet because all you're doing is you're taking your favorite game, everything you love about the game, and making it as if it was new. It's not like they're doing movies where they're like, hey, let's remake X-Men, let's put X-Men in, and then do a bad job because they're not following the storylines. Like if that's
Right.
not the case, they're following this game the way it's supposed to be. You know?
Correct. The only difference with that though is, for example, the remakes for Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 are completely different from the other two. Not story wise, but engine wise, because
Mhm.
obviously over the shoulder compared to the stationary cam.
Mhm.
But they're still great games. They're better than the originals, in my opinion.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Yep.
um, this you don't have to do much difference with. They'll definitely upgrade different things. I'm gonna say in this, you can pop like manuals that you could do in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Mhm.
I'm sure they're gonna incorporate that into the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 stuff,
Mhm.
um, which will make insane combos at that point. Um, Graphically, I'm actually looking at a side to side on the IGN um, article, and obviously total difference, but it looks beautiful. It looks good. The detail on the warehouse stage is incredible.
Mhm. Mhm.
So this is going to be insane as long as they keep the mechanics simple like the first two, which I'm assuming they will. This will be a phenomenal game
I
to
agree.
play.
So
Also,
it says on the article, it will support competitive online play, but the remake will also feature split screen multiplayer for those who want to play with friends locally. One and two's online functionality will also extend to the return of the Creator Park and Creator Skater modes. Players will be able to share their creative creations online, and VV is hoping to give players a wide area of options to build their dream skate parks. That is phenomenal. Think about it. Everything you loved when you were a kid with the couch co-op stuff and moving it online. Like that's incredible. Like this is the
yep,
definition of a remake, taking everything you love about a game and moving it to the newest features online. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
absolutely. I have some funny stories with co-op. So I just remember times where it'd be me and my brother playing it, and we're just skating around doing all kinds of tricks, and then we would try to like purposely run into each other while skating, so we just crash. And so it was funny when we did that stuff.
Yeah,
But
so great game. This was awesome, exciting news. Like I said, this almost broke the internet. Like this literally almost broke the internet. Like
oh
everybody was
yeah,
talking about it. Like this is probably one of the biggest announcements that we've had in 2020 so far. Like for game wise, like
oh god, yeah.
this is really really big news. Like I'm very excited about this. I'm amped. It looks like look at it. It visually looks so impressive. Like I am very impressed with what they did with the graphics on it, and it just they made it a whole new game, and I feel the nostalgia of the old game built along with it.
Which is and also in the game, you're gonna have all the skaters from the past game
Yep, yep,
in there,
yep,
which is insane. Also, the soundtrack.
yep.
Most of the tracks from the games are in this one. They said most of them, not all of them, though.
Yeah, I'm sure there's just probably some copyright stuff, because they have to pay for the royalties. So
Oh, of course.
yeah, so
But the main song I was looking for is in it, so I don't care.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm
that's
just
all
like,
that
"That's fine.
matters.
That's all that matters. I got the main song."
That's all right. All right. The next bit of news is Sony had its Let's Play, and the Let's Play was strictly Ghost of Tsushima.
They had a specific direct for Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, State of Play. Oops.
Yeah, yeah. It was only Ghost of Tsushima, but they announced it. It wasn't like it was a surprise. Like PlayStation, was like, oh, we have a Let's Play. Like it was strictly announced as it was a Ghost of Tsushima only. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm so mad. I'm
Uh-oh.
so mad. Uh,
Uh-oh, you forgot something.
our new intro.
Spells no. That take that away.
That's our new intro, guys.
That is not that is actually gimmick infringement. We are gonna get sued
I'm
real fast.
so mad. I'm so mad because I had that lined up, and right after the intro, it was supposed to play that. I'm so
Ha, you
mad.
blew it.
Oh man.
Damn. We almost saved ourselves from a lawsuit. We'll get a lawsuit probably
Yeah.
later tonight.
Yeah, I know. So if anyone didn't know, that's Sony's new I don't even know what they call it, like their new logo screen.
That's their new logo screen for PlayStation Studios. Now, instead of Sony Interactive Studios.
Yeah. So,
That was more big news from Sony.
yep, yep.
Big
So
news.
pretty cool. So getting into Sony, they had this state of play, and it was Ghost of Tsushima. So they showed a little bit about it, and it was an interesting one. With the Ghost of Tsushima, they showed some gameplay. One of the features that I liked right off the bat here from the beginning is the visuals. The visuals, it looks absolutely stunning. But this is
Yes.
not a surprise. I mean, this is something we already knew, and a lot of the videos that they've already showed. Oh, FYI, Xbox, this is what you call gameplay footage. Um, this is actually this is how you do gameplay footage.
Oh, yes, this is gameplay, by the way.
You know what's hilarious too, right? PlayStation only showed two things. Not even a big deal. They said, "Here's a quick state of play." Showed Ghost of Tsushima. Boom, there it is.
Yep.
Unreal wasn't even PlayStation. It was Epic Games during the one of their little conference things. They showed the gameplay footage, and that was on
Yeah.
the PlayStation 5. None of this by this was the only one that was actually by PlayStation. Like, and it shows only gameplay footage. That's it. That's all this stuff is all gameplay footage. So
This is legit gameplay footage.
that's all it is. Like, there's nothing
Legit.
else. No cutscenes, nothing. Just gameplay. Like the
All right.
actual game. Like, I bet you if you were to start the game right now, like, this is game.
This is how it would run.
Yeah.
This
Like,
is how the game would play.
yep. So, with saying that, this just looks visually beautiful. Like, this is absolutely incredible. We're obviously not running this at 4K, but you can see the small details in a lot of different things. The wind blowing,
Yeah.
the even the horse. By the way, FYI, Nintendo guy, wouldn't you say that's stealing that from something? Just saying.
Oh, what, the wind?
No, the horseplay, the horse ride,
Oh, the
Zelda,
horse riding? I have no
Zelda.
idea what you're talking about. Breath of the Wild.
So,
What?
one of the things they showed right at the beginning, which we kind of missed, is you can do the call of the gust of the call. You can call gust of the wind, which gust of the wind is a kind of like a guide because there's no map. If you see that there's no map on there, so the
Yeah,
gust of the wind actually will blow wind in the direction that you're actually
that
supposed
you're
to
supposed
go
to
in.
go in.
Yep.
Yeah.
You set that on the map where you want the gust of wind, and later on in the film footage, it will show him take a leaf and throw the leaf in the air so that way you can actually see where the gust of wind goes.
Yep.
The dynamics in this game is absolutely phenomenal, and I can guarantee you this is going to be one of those games that's going to be on upgraded to PS5, and it's gonna look absolutely
Oh, I
stunning.
would hope so.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one. It's going to be PS4
It's
slash
getting
PS5.
released in July,
Mm-hmm,
and then yeah, Last of Us is June.
mm-hmm,
This is gonna get released in July. If they didn't, I would be shocked
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
at this point. So yeah, absolutely, it's going to get an upgrade to PS5.
Yep. So, visually, what this game has shown is absolutely stunning. It's incredible. It just looks amazing. I love the new feature, the gust of the winds. I think that's huge. You got your horse riding. It looks like there's a lot of open world that you can go through. It shows the map. There's a lot of hidden quests that you can do, and you can have the gust of winds help you find other things as well. So it's
Mhm.
almost like a little bit of a cheat guide at the same time.
Yes. But it's a definitely an interesting dynamic using the gust of wind
Mhm,
because now you're not relying solely on a map.
mhm,
It's now a new dynamic, so you have to watch and play the wind, which I guess we'll have to see
mhm,
when we get our hands on it, as far as how easy it will be able to use the gust of wind.
mhm.
Because you could see the backfire on that with some people going, "Oh, it's actually not." I'm sure they got it down,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
um, I mean, if they for some reason they didn't have it down,
Mm.
I could see like people where it says like it's supposed to go this way, but it's not really being like accurate enough to where you're supposed to be like, oh, I was supposed to go here
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of here, and
It's
it's not
supposed to
really
blow
marking
you.
it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be blowing you in the direction that you're supposed to
Right, and
hit.
the right, but like if it's not being super specific, some people might be like, well, I mean, it's telling me to go here, and I went there, but now I'm supposed to go over here. Like I could see that.
Hmm.
I could see it happening. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Hmm.
No, I'm not trying to be negative here,
Yeah,
but
no, 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 no. I can see what you mean. I can definitely see what you mean. Um,
right.
um, so now here too, they're also showing that while he was going, you could see some birds fly in.
Yep.
And what the birds do is, if you're near something that's like a secret or a hidden, birds and other animals will lead you actually to these little things. So the birds left them to, um, the birds led him to another person. The fox led him to the stone. So they have a lot of
Yeah.
a bit like a lot of nature that's doing it. Then you can visit those rock locations, which allow you to fast travel. Which anyone that's ever played a game that's an open world like this, fast travel is definitely key.
Is a must. Fast travel is an absolute must in
Yep.
any open world game.
Yep, yep. So, super, super important. Uh, Trying to
Yeah, I
think.
do like the fact I do like the overall factor of you're using nature
Mm-hmm,
to utilize simple things of like where you're going, trying to find certain things. Um, maybe that points out enemies coming because they will show combat in a little bit on the trailer. Maybe it does something like that. Say you're in the woods and like random enemies are there, or animals that may hurt you are there. Maybe
mm-hmm,
the animals help you out with that.
mm-hmm,
Um, there's a lot to there's a lot to digest with
mm-hmm.
this one.
Yeah,
Um,
no, there's a lot, and I'm cool with that. Like, I like a lot what they showed. So in this part of the video, they're gonna start showing the fighting. So you have
yep,
two fighting modes. You have one that is samurai, which is a lot more tactical, straight up fighting. You got your armor on.
yep,
You're a lot more. Now this part confused me a little bit. So they showed. I'm trying to narrow it down. They showed it go in slow motion, right? And then
yep,
like one person attacked, you blocked them, and they still showed the other people attacking, but like
yep,
it was all like sudden movements. It was weird, and when they showed that, you're about to see it now. It kind of threw me off. I was like, oh, I hope not all the fighting is like that. But then
yeah,
later on, they end up showing like right after him fighting like regular. See now they cut it down, slow it down, and he stops, and then he attacks the next person.
yep,
It's just weird. But I thought all the fighting was gonna be like that, like slow tactical. But it shows it in this next scene coming up. Um, it just it gets a lot faster.
yes.
Yes, Destiny, I agree with you. The graphics for this is just absolutely mind blowing. Absolutely mind blowing. Why don't you guide this next step through, Kyle? What you see?
So basically, he's going through the camp, and what they described in the trailer is you have to be very precise with your shots because you could see him with the bow and arrow just before, right for the head, went right for a clear headshot. Now we're getting into a little bit more of combat. It's not. This game is not going to be a hack and slash. Let's put it that way. You're not going to be going into this game thinking that you could just hit a simple button and do simple combat. You clearly see that in the he left. I didn't
I'm still
I
here.
got
I'm yeah, I'm still here.
no, on the video. I was like, oh, he left. Um,
Oh,
I had it blocked with the chat.
oh,
Um,
oh, oh,
but again, yeah, this is not going to be a simple hack and slash game. I like the fact that there's going to be different stances that you
oh.
use,
Hmm.
which makes it very authentic
Yes, yes, I
for that
agree.
time era. And I'm gonna assume like different stances, you'll be able to like block different ways,
Hmm.
attack different ways.
Hmm.
So I love that aspect. So now we're getting a little more in depth of learning different styles. Maybe you pick up different styles
Hmm.
of during the game.
Hmm.
You go through it, see, oh, you acquire this style of fighting, and then you can utilize that
Hmm.
and learn different things using that. We'll see with how that works out, but it's so far looking great.
Yeah, no,
As
I'm
far
I'm
as
very
combat
impressed.
goes,
Like
it.
you said, this is like the stealth. This is more of like the Metal Gear aspect of it,
I was
where
gonna say this game has a very Metal Gear vibe to it. Even with the last scene of
hmm
attacking, it had a very Metal Gear vibe to it.
hmm yeah.
So yeah, he's up there sneaking around,
hmm
throwing out distractions like little firecrackers
hmm
to bring out the enemies, and then attacks them from above.
hmm
Spoiler alert, because I didn't.
like this, like that's so
There
cool. Like, yeah,
it
the
is.
distraction and like, oh my God, like the detail in it is absolutely insane. Like he went into his face with the sword. Like,
Yeah, and that's the main thing with this game. It's the detail,
hmm hmm
very detailed
yep,
in this
yep.
game. It's insane.
So, this mode is called. I don't know if I didn't hear if you said it or not. To Ghost mode. Like this is his ghost. So I'd like them to
Oh
explain that a little bit. Is why, like, do you have the option? Like, can you go into the same town and just do it a different way? Does it always have to be the same way? Like say that one stage they show where you went in as the samurai. Do you have to go do that part samurai, or can you choose to go later and go in with the samurai? I love that too. See how he backed out. Oh, he killed him anyways.
yeah, I killed him anyway. See, yeah, there's very little detail like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like you got him down and he can't do anything. He's like, please no, and he's like trying to show mercy. Maybe that plays a part as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's little things like that, like if you spare them
I think that's
or
all a part of the story. I think that, and that's why they didn't release. Like they released so much without giving up anything on this, and I loved it. Like because they were very quiet. Like
right.
look at that. You even have like this is crazy. This is like Assassin's Creed on crack.
Partially, I wouldn't say this is full. I mean, you do get an Assassin's Creed vibe to it.
As he's climbing, you're saying.
This is true. All right, okay, never mind. Forget. All right, forget the last thing I just said. Yes, it does have a Assassin's Creed vibe to it. Uh,
It just looks
but
so good. It just looks incredible.
plus, it's kind of funny that they're on a ship, so now it's really looking like Black Flag.
Yep.
Oof.
Yep.
Whoop.
Yep. Yep.
um, but it takes a lot of different styles
Mhm.
for you have your kind of Metal Gear vibe to it,
Mhm.
and now you're mixing it with Assassin's Creed. Not that they're kind of the same because they're both stealthy games.
Mhm.
Well, Assassin's Creed was, but you get that vibe with scenarios like this.
Mhm.
Then you kind of get a vibe, not exactly like For Honor,
Mhm.
but very similar to For Honor with the last combat,
Yep.
because you're basically just walking up to them and they're like, "I'm challenging you." So I don't know if like certain camps you go to, you'll be able to do that style, or if you get a choice of do you want to sneak in or do you want to go straight up. That's what we kind of need to find out as we get closer, if not when the game finally releases in July.
Mhm. I love
So
the
we'll have
change
to
of clothes
see.
right there.
Customization was going to be an obvious thing. If it wasn't, I would have been like, really?
Mhm.
This is a very large game,
Mhm.
so but there's so many different you know costumes that you saw in this trailer anyway.
Mhm.
Every scene had a different type of costume,
Mhm.
so it's pretty sweet. The customization is really good. The combat seems fluid, um, but again, we have to get our hands on it.
So I wasn't huge. Like I said, I knew this game was going to try to. It was going to be a competitor for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
And as a nominee. I knew just from what I've seen already, but I didn't feel confident with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, this is
right.
going to be because like it's so hot and everyone's talking about it. But thank you, Pete, Captain Platoon, for the pizza.
Thank you for the
uh,
stocks.
but yeah. So I mean, like. I knew it, but I was just like I didn't feel confident in it. It was more of like I'm riding that train where I think this is going to be a really good thing, but
Yeah,
I don't feel confident as it being my choice. And then I seen this, and now I'm a lot more confident. I definitely think it's right up there now with Final Fantasy VII and the rest of them. Um, I think from what I've seen right now, it's ahead of Cyberpunk. I'd like to see what Cyberpunk has to offer. We need something like
Uh,
this from Cyberpunk.
I mean, that's a we'll see thing, and we're kind of it's early. It's
No, it's
very
very early.
early.
It's
It's
very
very
early.
early.
Yep, it's very early.
Um,
Yeah, definitely.
because my whole thing is when I was watching this trailer initially, the whole first thing that they were doing obviously was going through the scenery and riding through the scenery and showing you how beautiful the scenery was
Hmm. Hmm.
and stuff like that. And I almost want to say to myself, why do I feel like I've seen this before? Death Stranding from last year. And because I'm like, please don't do this right now.
Yeah, because they
Because I
were
know
just showing a lot of like scenery, but you couldn't tell if
showing
it was cinematic.
scenery and the showing the wind and guiding and
Hmm.
this and that. I'm like, all right, that I mean, that part was like, okay, aesthetically it looks cool. All right, that's interesting. The fog, okay, yeah,
Yep,
that's cool. Um, but we needed to get like, the meat and potatoes of it,
I
which
agree.
I wanted to see some combat.
Hmm.
Um, which again, combat looks cool,
Hmm.
very unique.
Hmm.
It all really comes down to when it comes out how fluid the combat's going to be.
Yes.
If it's fluid, then okay.
Yep.
Then we're talking game of the year contender, possible game of the year contender. Um, if it's not, and it's like okay, I mean, if it works, but it's okay,
Hmm.
it'll be on the fence
Yep.
at best.
Yep.
I like how they do the classic
Hmm. Yeah, the black and white.
the black and white samurai classic movie sequence. That again, but though that's another aesthetic
Yeah,
that
that's so dope.
that you can do, and it
Hmm.
makes it look cool.
Yep.
But again, we'll have to see again how gameplay and how fluid it works.
Hmm.
Uh, love the actually. Here's another one that you could put it to. You could actually see a little like Arkham in the game as well, as far as with the combat, with all the enemies coming at you at the
Yeah,
same time.
that's
Little bit, but
so
not
important.
yeah, a little bit, but again, like Arkham, you could just button mash the button, like the X button or square, and it would
No, no,
you would do your combat.
mm-hmm.
You'd have to hit certain but this game, it looks like you have to, block the right way to slice the guy,
Hmm.
to move on to the next one.
Hmm.
So it feels like technically it's going to be
Very
could be a lot
technical.
could technically a very technical. Um,
So,
it might be
with
a
what
lot of
you
buttons.
with what you said though, like Arkham Knight, wasn't so much maybe at the first few Batmans, but Arkham Knight wasn't as mashy as you think. Like you actually had to really direct because there was a combo thing where if you built it up right,
Yeah,
then you end up getting more points and you improved and stuff like that.
yeah,
So it became really hard. That's why I liked Arkham Knight so much, is because of the fact that they did make it a little it made it less button mashing. So
yeah,
you're seeing these games improve, and I think that's really what's key for these type of games is what do you do when there's a bunch of people? Like, do I have to be
right.
strategic? Final Fantasy VII is a perfect example. Like, it is not button mashing. If you button mash, you're gonna die. They're gonna poison you. They're gonna put you to sleep.
Yep,
They're gonna do all kinds of things. And then there are certain moves like sword don't just affect certain creatures. Like that's why I'm in love with Final Fantasy VII. As much as I get so angry with it, I love it, and because the anger is just sometimes it's just hard, and I wish I could button mash into it. But that seems like this game where it's just like you have to approach every fight strategically, and I think that's really good.
right. Yeah, and with the Arkham games and any game like that moved on and improved the
Hmm.
fighting style.
Hmm.
Yeah, it got away from button mashing. Like you could hit the X button, but there were certain enemies where, say, you have to hit like or square,
Hmm.
but square, but then you have to go to a certain enemy, hit triangle,
Hmm.
or grab a certain enemy in
Hmm.
order to affect it.
Hmm.
That's where it got totally different as the games progressed,
Hmm.
which I like because now we're getting away from the button mashing aspect of them
Yep.
and making it more unique.
Yep.
This game, Ghost of Tsushima, Definitely, again, like I said before, does not look like a button mashing game. This is technique to the umpteenth
Yeah, yeah. It looks like it took it and made it
level.
the most advanced and brought it to the next level.
Right. To the umpteenth
So
level.
yeah, like the umpteenth level.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for it. Was there any closing thoughts for it before we moved on?
Love to get my hands on it. Um, Looks great.
Hmm.
Combat looks good to me
Hmm.
so far. So definitely must buy
I
for
wasn't
PlayStation
excited.
Club.
I wasn't excited for this game or this state of play, but I was just like,
Yeah,
obviously we got to watch it because we're gamers and we need to know what's going on.
of course.
And I watched it, and this definitely made me more excited for it. So I'm glad that I watched it.
Well, let's put it this way. It's weird with this game because when we first saw it,
Mm-hmm.
especially me and Andre,
Mm-hmm.
we weren't sold.
Mm-hmm.
We were not sold on it right away. We
Mm-hmm.
watched that first trailer from E3 2018,
Yep. Yep. And it was
I think,
funny.
and
I liked it.
yeah, you liked that trailer,
Yeah.
and we were like, we weren't sold.
Yeah.
We were
But
definitely not sold. Like we were kind of looking at it as like, oh, they're trying to make it look pretty,
mhm.
but
but
it's
But
man,
now we see that was gameplay footage. What they showed, like when they showed him fighting and stuff
true.
like that, that was all actual gameplay footage. So now we're confident that that's exactly what that was.
Oh, I'm not saying that, but still, we were looking at it like they're trying to make it look pretty, and then like even the combat when we were watching it, we were like, we weren't really sold on it. The trailer after that, though, this past year looked really good. So then we were like, okay, we were a little more sold. Now this game is starting to come around, and we're seeing specifically what you're going to be able to do with it,
Mhm.
as far as the wind guiding you,
Mhm.
animals helping you out.
Mhm.
So it's very unique. It's a definitely a unique experience as far as no map or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I give props to Sony on this one. The only gripe I will have with this is that once again they're going with the over the shoulder cam
Mm.
in one of their first party games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think third person view is pretty important in this type of game because you can't do first person. You know what I mean? But what were you thinking? Like, what would you have rather have seen?
Well, I'm just saying I think this game works with
Mhm.
over the shoulder, but then there's like I don't know. I feel like they've made so many franchises where they're just using the excuse for the over the shoulder cam. Like, I'm not knocking God of War. God of War is obviously an amazing game,
Mhm.
phenomenal game. But what did they do? They went to their comfortable over the shoulder cam to utilize it
Mhm. Mhm.
and stuff. So didn't
I see
really
what
go.
you're saying. Try to do something different
Try to be
with the big league game.
like a little different, like try to be a little more unique and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Dream. I will say this: when they came out with Dreams,
Mhm.
like that's unique. It's a maker game, so kind of stealing a somewhat Mario Maker type thing. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima looks great. Phenomenal game. Can't wait for it to come out. I better save my money, which actually I got some more money because I finally got my stimulus check today. Yee. Uh,
Yay!
Yay. I'm just going to buy games with the stimulus check.
That's so funny.
Oh my goodness.
All right, on to the next topic.
Speaking of Mario,
Oh, should I do it? Do you want me to do it? You want to see it? You want to
I
see it?
mean, I the second I brought up Dreams, in my head I went, okay, it's a maker game, Mario. Okay.
That's too funny. That's
Oh
too
my
funny.
god. Sometimes my brain works pretty quickly. Works
Sometimes.
sometimes. I didn't say all the time. Sometimes it works.
So the
Um,
next game is all you, my friend. I'll let you introduce it.
oh my goodness. Okay. So Nintendo decided today that they realized Sony was going to have a big old presentation and be like, all right, we're presenting Ghost of Tsushima. It's one of our big games of the year and all this other stuff. Nintendo looked at this and went, oh, they're doing that today. Okay. Let's match them. So they decide to flash drop, not the game itself, but flash drop a trailer for a brand new Paper Mario game coming from the Nintendo Switch. Um, which is called Paper Mario and the Origami King, which releases in a little more than 2 months, which is insane. It's insane to think about. And somehow Nintendo likes to do that every year with some sort of Mario game or Mario related game. It's like they announce it and then it's like, oh, by the way, it comes out in like a couple months. They did it with Super Mario Party a couple of years ago. And now they do it now with Paper Mario. First thing I'm going to say is I'm gloating a little bit because I called it.
Mhm.
Finally,
Well, I wanted the Mario RPG, so we both got the little mix of both.
we got a little mix of both, but that was one of the first thing I said. Like when in our chat when Andre was going crazy, oh, they're gonna make N6, Mario 64 and Sunshine and this one and this one and this one, and I'm sitting there going, that's no.
Hmm.
It's like the first two things I said were Mario Maker 2 is gonna get an update, check, and then they'll probably make a new Paper Mario, check,
Hmm.
and now after that maybe we'll get Galaxy. I mean, I'm not saying the remasters or remakes or whatever aren't coming. I think they are coming. Um, so my prediction is like Galaxy. Maybe we got like a Galaxy duo. That was
Hmm.
my prediction. Um, but getting back to Paper Mario. So, fun fact: I've actually never played a Paper Mario game ever.
Neither have I. Neither have I. I played, I
But
think, a few minutes of it, but nothing like extensive to make me say, yes, I did. I played it.
right, like I've never even touched one. So you've played more Paper Mario than I have.
Hmm. Hmm.
But after watching this trailer, I'm already sold on this game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm not,
This looks so much fun.
yeah, and I'm not, again, I'm pretty, people who know me know that I'm the Nintendo guy. I get it.
Hmm.
But I try, I always try to be real. Van knows this, everybody knows. I try to be real. If I'm not sold on a game, you'll know
Hmm.
that I'm not sold on it. I watched this trailer and I was hooked
Hmm.
immediately. It looks beautiful. I love the creativity that they're doing with
Hmm.
this.
Hmm.
Literally, it's looking like a paper gang warfare
Hmm.
between regular paper,
Hmm.
paper, and origami.
Hmm.
So it's like the origami army versus the paper army.
Hmm.
Um, very unique beginning because you see Peach as an origami,
Hmm.
and she asks Mario, "Are you going to be recreated in origami?" And he says no.
Hmm.
And Peach all of a sudden says, I don't care what your response is, and throws him in the dungeon pretty much.
So it's like Peach is actually the bad guy.
So Peach is acting evil.
Hmm.
But that's the thing. When you notice in the trailer, you notice that one of the characters looked like a regular, I think it was a yellow shy guy,
Hmm.
but then all of a sudden folded up and was the origami king.
Hmm.
Who's to say that the Peach character doesn't fold up into something else that's actually evil and it's not really Peach?
Yep, yep. So I'm very excited for this. Like this looks like so much fun. Everyone loves fun. It
Yes.
visually looks really good, and it has all the aspects of Mario that you love. Again, I said it with Mario Odyssey.
Yep.
I don't know how they keep doing this. Like I just all these years of Mario games, all
Yep.
these years, and they're always able to bring us back. Every different type of Mario game you can think of, and they're always able to bring us back. And to me,
Yes.
that's awesome. That's incredible, and that's an amazing skill to have. And we got to be blessed for Nintendo to be able to do stuff like this.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
so that's just, I think that's an incredible thing. I think that's a fantastic feat, and I think everyone should be super excited for that.
It's just when you watch this trailer, the first thing you're thinking in your head is who comes up with these ideas
Yeah,
to make it like a game like this? Would you have thought of an idea to do, hey, let's do origami versus paper in a
that's
Paper
why these
Mario game?
guys get paid the big bucks. Like
That's exactly
I'd love to see this guy's paycheck because he deserves it. Because whoever comes up with these ideas, they're fantastic. Guy,
Like
girl, whatever.
nobody, I won't say nobody, but like not many gamers are gonna sit there and go, gee, I think for the next Paper Mario game, they should do like Paper Mario versus Origami, an Origami Army.
Hmm.
Nobody's thinking that.
Yeah,
Hardly
because
anybody's thinking that.
it makes sense. It makes
But it
sense.
makes perfect sense when you watch the trailer.
Hmm. Hmm. I
It's
agree.
insane. Like graphically, it looks unbelievable for the game.
Yep, I agree. I
It
agree.
and the fact that it comes out in a little more than 2 months,
Yep.
that is also insane.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. This was a great news. This just got
But
released today, right?
this just dropped today.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Like
we just
early
got this
this
news today.
morning dropped today.
Yep. So
Which
that's
is actually
awesome.
I actually have a funny story from earlier today. I was watching a friend of mine stream Luigi's Mansion 3,
Hmm.
and he got to the sand dune part in the game, and he looked at the stage and he went, "Gee, this reminds me of Paper Mario." He had no idea, by the way, this dropped. This
Hmm.
had just dropped. So he's like, "Oh, this looks like Paper Mario," and he was like talking. Actually, he was talking with Dwoli too.
Hmm.
And I went to him. I go, "Yeah, speaking of Paper Mario," and he was ready to go make food, and he was like, "Is there a new Paper Mario?" And he stopped everything, put his headset on, and and showed the video on his stream, and he was super excited about it.
Speaking
Um, I was just like, "Speaking of Paper Mario," and he got super excited.
of.
Um, but yeah, the game looks phenomenal. But there's one thing I gotta bring up, okay? And we just saw it in the trailer, okay?
Hmm.
The end of the trailer shows Mario with whose helmet on?
Samus,
Nintendo.
what are you
Okay.
doing?
What are you doing to me right now? Like, and people on Twitter were probably blowing up about that factor too.
Hmm.
But they showed that, and I went, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Are
Hmm.
you foreshadowing something?"
Hmm.
Because that's the first thing I'm thinking. It's
Hmm.
like, why are they showing Mario with a Samus helmet and people are like desperately waiting for Metroid Prime 4 news, which actually there was big Metroid Prime 4 news that we forgot to put on the run sheet. They did make some new hires for the
Oh,
game.
okay. Okay.
So I'll have to bring that up in a little bit. But like they showed him with the Samus helmet, and I went, why? Why? That's such a foreshadow, especially putting it right at the end of the trailer.
Hmm.
People are immediately going to think, oh, are they coming out with Metroid news soon or whenever the direct happens? So, I mean, I don't know. This is Nintendo. I just happened to get lucky with a prediction this one time with Paper Mario getting released. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know what your thoughts on it are,
Um,
but for me, it's like, oh,
I think it's
oh,
interesting that they did that. I don't know if with Nintendo it's tough. Like I don't know if I should take anything from that or if it's just like I think they're just being cute. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna do
right.
something like, hey, there's a lot of different features that they're gonna add in there. Because like Nintendo's known to have that type of personality where they're not trying to link you something, they're just literally trying to be cute and funny. That's it. Like it's just like, hey, look, I got a Samus helmet on. Like not,
Right.
hey, here's a leak. So it's Nintendo is the one video game company that really plays with their emotion more than anything.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, they're the ones
Oh,
that play with it. So like they can show you something and it means nothing, nothing at all.
oh, absolutely. You definitely. The one conclusion I can say is they definitely did that on purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
They definitely did that on purpose, showing Samus and go pew 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 with Paper Mario
Mhm,
doing that because now it's going to make people think, and it definitely could be what you just said, them being cute
mhm.
with it, which wouldn't put it by me. So it's like, oh,
It's like,
Nintendo,
damn you, Nintendo. Why are you
damn
being
you,
this way?
Nintendo, why would you do that to me?
Mhm, mhm,
But overall, again, I'm sold on it. It looks unbelievable.
mhm.
This was probably going to be one of the big announcements that they would have done during their direct, which if it was during that direct in June, That would have been insane to drop it like the next month after that.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm cool with the announcement now of it. I think it's a big announcement. I think it's playing right along with what we've been seeing in these articles the last pretty much month when it comes to the 25th anniversary, or not 25th, the 35th anniversary of Mario,
Mhm.
with all these games coming out. So
Mm,
this isn't going to be the last time we see any Mario news
mhm. Mhm.
this year. So good stuff.
I'm reading. I was just wanting to read that. All
What do
right.
you want?
I was just reading what he said to him because I didn't get to catch that. So, all right. So now on to our main topic. This was a big deal. So, yes, was it yesterday? Was it Tuesday?
I think it was Tuesday.
All our days have gone together. Either way, this week,
So what happens with
um,
COVID? It's
yeah, I know. So this week, Epic showed some of the Unreal Engine 5.
Hmm.
Uh, at a, I'm just want to see if I can find it. After last
Well,
week's somewhat blatant showcase
they unveiled it, right? Like this was like the debut, wasn't it,
debut of what?
of Unreal 5?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I was about to say because like we haven't heard anything about it
Well,
before.
no, we knew about it. They talked about it. They said that this was coming, but they didn't show anything of it. They said, "Oh, Unreal 5 is going to be on, PS5 and Xbox." So we knew like those things were coming, but
Right.
it didn't say anything other than that. So, after last week's somewhat Blaze showcase of in development Xbox Series X software, our expectations for the upcoming generation of new game consoles were somewhat tempered, but those expectations got significantly boosted this week with Epic Games unrevealing a jaw-dropping real-time demo of its Unreal Engine 5 technology. The engine, which Epic says will launch next year, was shown running it on PlayStation 5 development hardware, though the company said the same general level of fidelity should be possible on the Xbox Series X, and high-end PCs as well. And it shows how the state of the art in graphical quality on this platform is quickly advancing past resolution and frame rate counts and towards new levels of lighting and modeling details. I'm trying to see why they showed it, but this is a tech demo. The purpose of a tech demo is to show what the technology can handle, is the specs and everything. What you now are watching on the screen is actual in-game footage of the actual engine running. So it's not, oh, it's just the engine um, being played or a cinematic thing. This is actually if it was in-game. They break
Yeah.
down each one of these little details of rocks, which they're showing here. um, every little piece of ground is a triangle.
Yes.
Little piece of triangle. And they're going to show in a few minutes of exactly what the triangles look like. And it looks like a bunch of white noise. That white noise is actually each individual triangle in the whole scene. And each triangle is the size of a pixel. So it's almost like if you have like 4K, 4,000 pixels on the screen. Like that's what
Yeah.
the size of it is. So those are all little triangles. The purpose of that, each triangle is its actual own little I guess you can still say it's like it's pixel. They can go down to every little detail. It is so important for that, for lighting, shadowing, so they can shadow off each and every little bit one of those. To process that at such a high rate is so hard on a
Yeah.
console because you're so limited on the console.
Yeah.
Let's see, they took the lighting off, they put the lighting back on. They're moving the sun around to show you like how effective the shadowing is. So if it was changed in a different time of the day, it would move. Um, to get that to still go at a 60 FPS is almost impossible at the hardware that a console can process. So something like this is is believable for a PC, but now we're moving to a console, and for a console to do this is absolutely phenomenal. Like it's an incredible feat. Um,
Yes.
there's many PCs that can't even do this at this rate. You're talking an easy $1,000, $1,500 computer
Yeah,
you're running to be able to run this, and even 1,000 is very, very iffy. Like you're probably looking more towards the 1,500.
yeah,
Um, that's incredible. Like look at the detail of her just rubbing the rock, the shadowing, the sunlight moving, the texture of her hair moving as she moves, the detail even far away. You look into the distance where the birds were flying to still to be able to see the details of the birds at that aspect of far away at the speed you're seeing it flawlessly. It's absolutely incredible. And if you notice, they picked a cavern because
yep,
with a little bit of water, um,
mm,
to get the aspects of these rocks um, is so hard. It's so hard in a tavern because there's so much little detail for you to analyze. And now they're just showing off, having rocks come down and
right,
fall
yeah,
down on you. But the colors they picked, you can see all the different colors. They even went through that they spray painted some, so they can be like, hey, we can get really creative with this, where you can see the different textures. Like a lot of that is mostly covered in by just making everything the same. By making everything the same, it's so easy because it blurs away those little minor details of mistakes that they have in their screen. You can see all the little details of different color brown because of the different texture of the rocks coming out and the rocks going back, the rocks going down, the broken rocks. Like I'm blown away. Like watching this, this is the true power of what these next consoles are. And if you were to be excited for what's coming next for consoles, this would be the reason why. This is right here should get you excited for what the consoles are. And if you want to, say, hey, when are we going to be actually in the race for PC and consoles? We have now entered that realm with what this can provide.
right. Yeah, and like we've said before, it's going to be kind of like putting PC parts into a console at an affordable price,
Hmm.
which is
Exactly.
which is insane to think about. And that's why I keep saying Xbox needs to sell the Series X like it's gonna be an affordable PC.
Look at that. Look at that. Now this is two different lights we're talking about. We're talking about the light in her hand, which they distinctively made blue, and we're talking
Yep.
about the light coming down and the shadow from it. That's amazing to be able to process that and the little detail of those statues. And this is going to be even more amazing when they go into this room and there's a bunch of statues. Like, look at that. Like, you're analyzing these rock statues and every little aspect of it. And as she's spinning around, seeing the shadow move around, like on a technical, like I'm trying not to talk geek, and that's why I keep talking myself in circles because I don't want to talk into a sense where no one's understanding what I'm saying. And I'm trying to put it in layman's terms, but this is the details in this is so phenomenal. Like there is no game on console right now that can do what this is demoing right now. No game, no game, no Horizon, no God of War. At this detail is at look at that. It is
Yeah,
so
I literally that looks like a movie sequence.
yeah, yeah. And this is in game, guys.
Yep.
This is all in game graphics, and we are still not even seeing it at the aspect of what it's actually being truly shown at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's even the more mind-boggling part is we're not even looking at this at the aspect of what it could actually truly do. We're just looking at the small detail of it through the 720 that we're looking at now, 1080 maybe, because of the stream we're going at 720. You're still not able to see it in the full detail. So this is absolutely incredible, like amazing.
Yeah, I watched this trailer in on my Xbox One X.
Hmm.
So I watched it pretty much 4K, and it's insane.
Yeah.
It looks insane. The absolute massive detail that they've put into this engine
Hmm.
is incredible.
Hmm.
Oh, one little funny comment I'll say is if this is what they had shown back at the GDC presentations that they showed online, then it would have been more interesting.
I think still we would have lost people.
We still would have lost some people, but like if they had shown this stuff going on, then I'd have been like, oh. Now it looks interesting. Now you've got me interested.
And what's nuts too is PlayStation didn't even demo this. This was Epic Games that demoed this. Like
Right.
that's
Yep.
so it's like we got more out of what we're getting for PlayStation than we did Xbox for the next gen console. More impressive, and
Ugh,
PlayStation wasn't even the one to show it off.
and it blows my mind. It blows my, but it also kind of shows where Epic was going with
Hmm.
that. They're like, it's showing off on a PlayStation 5.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
They chose PlayStation. They didn't choose Xbox.
Yep.
Just, but
Yep. Yeah.
like, hello.
Yep. Yep.
I
So.
just want to take I just want to take Phil Spencer, right?
Hmm.
I'll just pretend this is like a bat and just over the head and knock some sense into him.
Hmm.
Like we went off on an absolute tangent last week. I don't want to go on a tangent again. But the point is, Sony did a longer presentation for one game where they got super in depth with it today with
Hmm.
Ghost of Tsushima than Xbox did last week with a bunch of games. They literally were just like, "Oh, here's our Xbox presentation that's a half hour long,"
Hmm.
and they showed games that were like, eh,
Yeah. At
at
best.
best. And then the big game Valhalla, which again, not a first party, it's Ubisoft's, didn't come out with all kinds of whatever.
Hmm.
It didn't have any like spunk to it. I'm reach for words here. Had had no pleasing value to it.
Hmm. Hmm.
It had nothing.
Hmm.
It was okay. So we saw gameplay, but not real gameplay. We saw 40 minutes of real gameplay with Ghost of Tsushima.
Hmm.
But they didn't even have to do 40 minutes. They could have done like a 20-minute thing. But
Well,
they
that's
wanted to
Ghost of
get
Tsushima was only 20 minutes.
that's true, it was only 20
Yeah,
minutes.
it was only 20 minutes.
The
They didn't
video
even have to
online.
do it. They didn't even have to do 20 minutes.
No, you didn't have to do 20 minutes. They could have done like 15 minutes.
Yep. Yep.
They could have done easily just 15 minutes. But no, they did 20 minutes.
But it didn't even feel like that. Like it didn't even feel like
No.
they did that time. Like they made it quick and they made it feel like it was quick. Like we didn't get enough. Like we wanted more.
Oh, absolutely. We still need to see a little more,
Yeah.
but we've gotten pretty much the basics of the game.
Yeah. Like we were happy. Like we
Oh,
were satisfied. But we were like it was like when I say we wanted more, it was like oh we left empty. It's we wanted to see more because we liked what we seen.
oh, absolutely. We've got the gist of what that game is going to be now.
Hmm.
We've got it.
Hmm.
The Sony has explained it.
Hmm.
Xbox didn't explain anything.
Hmm.
They did nothing,
Yep.
and they had a much. I don't get. Let's put it this way: Sony and Nintendo did more today. Nintendo did more in a 2-minute trailer than Xbox did in the 30 minutes that they had last week.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't get it. I don't get what they did. They are in such a bad state right now that I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. Like this should un, the fact that Unreal went to Sony to show this off should just be a clear cut, thought of we're kind of losing here,
Hmm.
even though we have the more powerful system. Like, why aren't you showing it off for the Series X? And why aren't you possibly showing it off to um it could possibly run on X Cloud?
Hmm.
I'm not saying it's going to be able to.
Right. Right. Right.
X Cloud's gonna be a totally different thing. And if it can, that would be insane.
Hmm.
But I don't think it's going to be able to. But
Right.
like you're losing out on situations like this, on opportunities like this. By the way, the Unreal Engine was made by Epic Studios, and I'm pretty sure Xbox has a game that was formerly owned by Epic Studios. Now they own it,
Hmm.
and you still can't get Epic to show it off on. I don't know.
Hmm.
I could keep going, but Xbox just drives me nuts
I agree. I
with this
agree.
stuff.
It's just this just really shows you how bad their PR really is, and that's where it comes in frustrating. Like PlayStation, they're very limited on what they had to do, and look how much they got off. Like they got more in one two showings, and one showing was theirs, one showing wasn't, than Xbox did in a full half an hour worth of showing.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Mhm,
Technically, PlayStation had a combined 30 minutes between this and the Ghost of Tsushima
mhm.
presentation, but
It only showed two games. There's only two games that got
it
showed.
was right. Not, we don't even know. Let's put it this way: we don't even know if this is a game
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
Unreal thing. We don't know if this is a game. This could be just a tech demo.
Yeah, right, right, right. Like this isn't even said to be a game. Like this is
I'm sure
probably not a
people are
game.
probably. I'm sure people are probably going bananas, saying, "Gee, I hope this is a game."
Yeah, there's
But
been plenty of times that, especially anything Unreal, you can almost guarantee is not a game. Like when Unreal shows off
right.
their stuff, I know it's Epic, but when Unreal shows off their stuff, typically it's not a real game.
Oh no, absolutely. I think this is just going to be a tech demo for what they showed.
Hmm.
Um, again, visually stunning, and the technology that is in this is incredible.
Hmm.
When they were talking about like every pixel being the triangle, where it's like you have this triangle and it's like pixels within that's insane. That's insane technology for what they're putting into this engine.
Hmm.
The And again, like you said before, when they showed it off, it looked like white noise. Like even to me, I was just sitting there going, I don't see any triangles, but that was the point. It's like there's so many triangles
Yep. Yep.
in there that you can't tell.
You
Like
can't even see the triangles.
they said one of the scenes, like there was like 16 billion triangles or something. And I was like, what?
Yeah. They said there was a million triangles in each statue, and so it ended up because
That's
of all the statues there were 66 billion triangles.
that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
think about, but it's so detailed.
Oh.
It looks like a movie now.
And like I said, the big thing about me is always I'm never the dude that is really into the details and the graphics. Like I don't really care about that. What I care about is how it plays. If you notice how smooth this is, that's what matters. It's fluent. When it goes in between scenes, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just fluent. Now we got to see it in a game. But for them to go this advanced with graphics, it just shows that the power, the processing power of this is going to be amazing. Which brings me to my next topic, which is the PlayStation 5 SSD. So right after this came out, um, they talked to Epic about PlayStation 5.
Honey,
Oops, hold on a
you
second.
picked the wrong time.
Okay, sorry about that.
Nope.
So it says with Epic Games revealing its next generation ready Unreal Engine 5, more of the capabilities of both the upcoming PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X have come into focus, specifically their custom storage solutions, with Epic's Tim Sweeney saying PCs aren't able to replicate them today. They could give the PS5 an unexpected advantage against the PC, a platform that has consistently been able to outperform consoles for generations. In an interview with The Verge, Sweeney explained that the PS5 and its custom SSD solution will inform the future of PCs and that no commercially available products can replicate the speed Sony has achieved yet. The storage agriculture on the PS5 is far ahead of anything you can buy on anything on PC for any amount of money right now, Sweeney said. It's going to help drive future PCs. The PC market is going to see this thing ship. I don't know what that means, and says, oh wow, SSDs are going to need to catch up with this. That's not to say commercial storage options won't catch up. Sony itself is expecting them to, with the company electing um, to list compatible SSDs for PS5 expansion over creating custom peripherals. Microsoft, on the other hand, have already revealed a partnership with Seagate to create custom Xbox Series X SSDs that will be used to expand the internal storage. Sweeney had a lot to say about the PS5 during today's Unreal Engine 5 reveal, including how Epic Games is working closer with Sony on its hardware than Microsoft. Despite that, Sweeney says Unreal 5 will deliver great performance on a range of hardware. So let me break that down to layman's terms for you. the conference that we had during the tech information that PlayStation was dropping was all about the SSD, all about it, and
Yep.
people were just so blurred about it. But one of the biggest things I said is people really need to be excited about this because the not one thing that they continuously talked about was speed. The speed of
Yes.
a hard drive matters because that's what the information is being read off of. If it reads at slow speeds, that game cannot catch up to what it needs to pull. So therefore, um all those triangles cannot be read. Yes, Dolly, we are. Welcome to the
I
show.
know.
So, with saying that, this couldn't be possible without the speed of this hard drive. This is Epic Games CEO telling you right now that what is out on the PS5 isn't even out on PC yet. The PC hard drive cannot even compare to this. So now a lot of people made jokes, and I've seen, and this is uneducated people talking about it, is oh, you just put an SSD hard drive in your PS4. All right. That's like saying I'm going to take the pressure of a fire hose. No, not even take the pressure of the fire hose. I'm going to take a fire hose, right, and
Mhm.
plug it up to my house, and I'm going to get the same pressure. No. Just
No.
because you have a bigger hose doesn't mean you're going to get that more pressure. It just doesn't make sense. Or even vice versa. I could take a regular garden hose and put it up to a garden hose, to a fire extinguisher and plug it up to a like garden hose, and it's just not going to work. It's not going to work like that. That
Right.
same thing works with these computers. You can, take a game and make it the best graphics in the world, but if the hardware can't handle it, then that's it. The PlayStation hardware is still limited. It's still limited to what it can do. And the SSD hard drives, like they said, do not match up to these. PlayStation designed these hard drives specifically for games. SSDs aren't designed specifically for games. These hard drives are designed to run games a lot faster, and that's the purpose of it. And that
Right.
helps this game think a lot faster, process a lot faster at a lot higher rate, so that way you can keep that 60 frames per second
Mhm.
or more. We're gonna get more than 60 frames, which is insane.
Yes. That is incredible. By the way, I love Dwelly's comment he just made. That's a me and Dwelly inside joke with hotel shower
Oh
heads.
God. Yes.
um, but yeah, absolutely. I agree. Like you can't just throw any random SSD into a PlayStation and be like, "Yep, it's gonna run faster now."
Hmm.
Like, no, there's different type of SSDs that run very quick, and there's certain type of SSDs that just have more memory.
So don't get me wrong. Your game performance and loading time will speed up by a few seconds. Yes, you'll get a little bit of a time crunch, but we're talking about loading time compared to games running. Like at the details that that game is running is incredible. Incredible.
It's insane.
Hmm.
Just looking at what they're doing with the light, with the sunlight in this part of the tech demo
Hmm.
is incredible
Hmm.
because it's literally looking like a sunset
Hmm.
and coming through, or a sunrise coming through, and the sun's hitting it at a different angle. It's nuts.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
crazy what they're doing with this graphically.
Hmm.
And the only thing I'll say, the only gripe I have is that it is coming out in 2021, which kind of says to me, it's like, do I really want to buy a PS5 like right out the gate on release, or do I wait a little bit for these engines to get established and then go out and get the systems? Plus, when the system originally comes out anyway, it's going to be ridiculously hard to get one regardless.
Hmm.
Um, but this might just be something that I just have to wait on anyway.
Hmm.
Um, I would love to run out and buy all the systems, but you know, kind of want to save some sort of money
Hmm.
with this. But again, like I said last week too, if I'm picking between PS5 and Xbox Series X right now, and I don't give a shit how more powerful the Series X
Thank
is,
you.
I'm going PS5
Hmm.
because we're gonna get the exclusives, we're gonna get the better games. And I'll tell you this right now, I just went and looked up some hello, Asana. Um, games that were utilizing the Unreal Engine 4 and just to see what possible games coming in the future could utilize the new Unreal Engine. One notable game popped up, Hellblade 2. Like Hellblade, yeah, Hellblade utilized Unreal Engine 4.
Hmm.
Hellblade 2 got announced this past year at the Game Awards. I'm just saying it wouldn't shock me to see them go and utilize Unreal Engine 5
Hmm.
for the game. I'm not it's definitely not it's not coming out at launch for the Series X because that if that was the case, then the game's not gonna release with the Unreal Engine.
I
Um,
believe they did say
but
2020.
for Hellblade 2,
I think so. I'm not too sure.
let's find out. Well, they didn't really say a date.
Right, I can't remember. All I was
There.
excited
Oh,
for.
all right. So it says, yeah, it says December 2020.
Yeah, but we know what that means.
But yeah, there's no date, and December 2020 usually means, yeah, it's not coming out then.
Hmm.
Yeah, this article is saying put Hellblade 2's release date in December 2020 or early 2021. To be honest, they probably should wait till 2021 because if they well, let's put it this way: if it's utilizing the Unreal Engine, then it's not going to come out until 2021, which is what I'm pretty much going to be predicting at this
Hmm.
point that it does get released in 2021.
Hmm. Hmm.
A lot of these games that you're going to see, they're going to do the same thing that they did with the last gen.
Hmm.
When PS4 and Xbox One came out, they pretty much took most of the games that were from the past generation and upscaled it to PS4 and Xbox One.
Hmm.
For example, Last of Us. We
Hmm.
saw Last of Us get upscaled.
Hmm.
Another one was the Call of Duties that were coming. I believe at the time was Ghost. I want to say Ghost was the game at the time, but that's what I'm saying. Like they took the latest Call of Duty, they upscaled it to the Xbox One. A lot of games you're going to see right at release is going to be upscales from PS4. But PlayStation's ready for that
Hmm.
because think about it. You got Last of Us 2 coming out next month. You got Ghost of Tsushima coming out in July. Then when the PS5 drops in more than likely going to be October, you're going to get upscaled versions of Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2
Hmm.
on the PS5.
Hmm.
So people are going to be busy regardless
Yep.
with both those games going into it. PlayStation is playing this extremely well.
Yeah. Yeah. They know what
Extremely.
they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing. Whereas Xbox is running around like a chicken with their head cut off. They have no idea what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks to see that because I'm always excited. It seems like with Xbox, they're just going downhill since the 360, and it just sucks. And I think it has a lot to do with just like again their PR is just real bad. And now I'm starting to think that it's a little bit higher than just their PR, just their structure with how they're doing everything is just it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Because they're so focused on hardware, which doesn't make any sense to me because Microsoft is a software company.
Hmm.
They're a software company, and their Xbox division is worried about hardware. I don't get it.
It's just
The thing
I
that
don't know.
the thing that sells video games is the actual video games. It's not the systems.
Right, right. And
It's the
you
actual video
you
games.
only have to worry about the system once every 5, 6 years.
Exactly. Exactly. Every 5 or 6 years, which honestly, I could sit here and say, and I'm not trying to crap on, Unreal Engine and PS5 and Xbox Series X. I'm not, but like literally, this generation could have easily went like another 4 years
Yeah.
and been fine.
Yep. Yeah, no,
But
I agree. I agree.
but everybody wants brand new technology. We come up with 8K TV, so now all of a sudden we're coming out with systems that are going to support 8K. But nobody can afford an 8K TV right now unless you're Jeffrey Bezos.
Yeah. Right, right.
I just literally we could have lasted with this generation. I'm not again. The system looks great visually. It looks great, but I mean, we could have lasted a little bit longer with this past generation, and it probably well, maybe not have helped Xbox, but PlayStation would have been fine
Hmm.
and stuff. So, but I understand, we got to up with the times, and it has been 6 years since, or actually, no, it's when did it get released? Jeez, wow. When did
Uh,
Xbox One get released?
I'm trying to think of it.
Oh my
And
gosh,
we
was it
already know we won't have
2013
any.
or it was 2013, okay. I don't know why I brain farted on that. I was
7 years.
thinking
Yep.
I was about to say, I was thinking 2013, but for some reason, I
Yep.
don't know why. But,
November 2013.
yeah, so it'll be 7 years this November that
Mhm.
PlayStation and Xbox One came out.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they've had a long and it's still gonna keep going because
Mhm.
a lot of these games that are originally coming out for the Series X will be able to be playable on Xbox One X.
Mhm. Mhm.
And all these Xbox One X's are like stupidly cheap to buy right now. So it's like if you're gonna get something, I would just get an Xbox One X and
Yeah.
stuff, because you'll be able to play all the games.
Yep.
That's what it just drives me nuts. Why an Xbox doing that and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I could go on another long, which we just did, another long tangent about Xbox. But the point is, back on subject, Unreal Engine 5 looks stunning.
Yeah, and it
It's
this
amazing.
this definitely gives us hope for the future of what our consoles are bringing, which is what everyone was really looking for. This is what we wanted. We want to see what's going to make this console so great, and everyone just keeps hearing all this stuff. Xbox needs to utilize cloud. The Xbox Cloud is a phenomenal piece of like product. It is an awesome product. Like I
Yeah,
absolutely love it, and it runs amazing. It runs so good, and they're getting so many good games on Xbox Gold and Xbox Live. I mean, Xbox
Game
what
Pass.
Game Pass, yeah, and Xbox X Cloud. Like Xbox, utilize that, man. Like really utilize that. And do less on the hardware, like in the sense of come out with lighter things that you can just plug in or play it on. Like utilize that, market that. PlayStation is doing everything they can right. Like they're pretty much keeping everything on the low radar because they're like, we're just gonna hit it. What they're gonna do is they're just gonna haymaker us right in the face with all this stuff. And it's just
Oh,
gonna be
absolutely.
like it's gonna be all at once, and we're just gonna be like overload. Like because there's no reason to spread it out because there's not enough information or it turns into Xbox, what the Xbox is doing right now.
Think of it this way too, Van. And I know that for the next whatever month up until release of the Series X, that's what they're doing.
Mhm.
But did you hear any word about xCloud at all?
No,
The
that's but
presentation?
that's what I'm
Did you hear
saying.
them? Did they ever say the word xCloud during their presentations?
No,
Like, what are you doing? You were
right?
promoting the hell out of xCloud for ages and ages and ages. And all of a sudden you're going to these Series X presentations and
Mm,
you're not going to even bring it up,
mm-mm,
like how this would run on an xCloud. I know it's Series X, but like how are you going to utilize xCloud with the Series X?
mm-hmm,
Maybe we'll see that in the months to come,
mm-hmm,
but kind of bring it up like every single presentation because that's your thing right now.
mm-hmm,
That's what I would do. I'd bring it up every single presentation,
mm-hmm,
no matter what it is.
mm-hmm.
Bring up some sort of xCloud thing in every single presentation. That way, you know that you're promoting it and you keep it hot.
Yep,
You keep everybody noticing what it is.
yep, yep.
But I just don't get it. Actually, I did want to comment. Duel is now that I have my new PC, it's like why upgrade my Xbox anytime soon? Well, so the thing is,
That's what we bring
what
up every show. Every show. At this point, there's no real reason to.
well, I'll say this as well with PS5 coming out kind of saying that these SSDs that's in that system, there's not anything like it for the PC market
Right now.
right now. Well, right now, but that's kind of saying something
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
right there. That's a statement.
mm-hmm,
That's saying, yeah, we have something in here that's not really on the market for PCs right now.
mm-hmm.
That's saying something. That's like,
Right.
whoa.
Right. Like if we're gonna get the big thing is for those that don't have PCs, if they're gonna get graphics like this playing a game, obviously PCs have a lot more game options than than like a console because you got League of Legends and stuff like that. But it's gonna start the question: if we're gonna get graphics like this, are we gonna see like a lot of those games come? Like, will League all of a sudden? Because now League is making multiple different types of games. They're gonna make fighting games and make a bunch of different games. Is it gonna start leaning towards what like Andre said? And are we gonna be able to plug in a keyboard and mouse and play League of Legends on our consoles? If they start doing that now, what would they do? The mind-boggling thing that will happen is if Steam came to a console. if Steam's like PlayStation, we want to make a partnership with you, and we want to be able to provide Steam games on PlayStation. Like that would be an absolute game changer. Game changer. Like if you wanna see something blow out of the water, do something like that and watch what happens. But I don't think you'll see PlayStation do something like that. Maybe Steam would want to. I don't know, but I don't know what kind of agricultural thing that would do. Steam to Switch.
Oh, done. They would destroy. Nintendo would destroy everybody if that happened and it ran properly.
Yep. Yep.
But what was the other thing? If PS5 can pump out this kind of visual quality games and they are exclusives, done. They're going to.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
It's not even
let's
a
put it this way.
question. Not even a
It's just
question.
it's just a waiting game right now. Let's put it this way. When the next God of War comes out, if they're utilizing the Unreal Engine 5 in God of War,
Oh,
of
do you know how many people probably already like how many studios have their hands on this technology right now? What do you think everyone's being so quiet?
course.
If this is what they're messing with right now, this is explaining why everyone is being so quiet. Because it's one PlayStation probably has them under tight contract saying, "Listen, you can't say anything, anything, anything." I
I know.
guarantee you, Epic bug the hell out of them to show them this. Like, all these game guys are like, listen, we got to do something because Xbox is showing a lot, and even though it sucks, like right now
Yeah.
the word for next gen is not very good. So like we need to do something to bump this up for PlayStation. PlayStation are like, fine, go ahead, just 10 minutes. You know what I mean? 10 minutes. But
I think it's the reverse. Honestly, I think Epic went to them and they said, "We would like to show our engine off on your system," and Sony probably went, "Yep,
yeah, but like,
okay."
I think that the whole thing is like, I think a lot of these game companies are like, listen, we don't want to show anything until this is done product. Like, we want to show everyone it in the sense of like, wow. And I think you're gonna get the next God of War on here, and it's gonna blow people away. There's already rumors because the studio's been hiring for Horizon 2.
Yeah, Horizon 2.
Yep, they've been hiring. So you're going to see the next Horizon 2. That's going to be Unreal 5. Like these games that are coming out that are built specifically for this, like Unreal is built for these type of games. I
Yeah.
mean, it's gonna be mind-boggling. It's gonna be this next gen is definitely something to be excited for if you love the details into games.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. If and let's put it this way, Dolly's like, I don't even know what the fuck this game is yet, and I want it. I'm pretty sure this is only a tech demo, but you know what's funny? What if this was like the new Horizon and we
Uh,
had no idea? And then all of a
she
sudden they come out like Horizon. I'd be like, what?
she looks very similar to the character.
Right?
Yeah, she
Just
looks very.
saying.
Well,
Just
Epic be a part
saying.
of that. That'd be crazy.
Oh, that would be insane. That would be insane. Um,
So, any closing thoughts on this specific subject?
it looks incredible. It's coming out in 2021. That's the only reason why I'm thinking maybe I hold off and not get, the new systems right away because this technology is going to come out till next year
Hmm.
and stuff. So, but I mean, friggin' Nintendo guy got my Switch anyway, so I'm pretty sure I can hold off,
Hmm.
regardless. But again, looks phenomenal,
Yeah,
phenomenal, amazing job.
yeah,
What with Epic
I
and what they've
agree.
done with the new Unreal Engine.
I agree. I agree. I'm very excited to see what the future holds, especially for things like first person shooters. Like I'd love to see Battlefield come back um
Mhm.
into the game because like now with this technology, just imagine all the destruction because that's what Battlefield is known for was the element destruction, the world destruction and stuff like that. So I'd love to see the details that they can provide with this game with something like an Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. So we're gonna wrap up this show. Um, unless there was anything else that you wanted to add and share real quick.
All right. So the Metroid Prime 4 news
Oh, yep,
that
yep.
I did not get to bring. Actually, one quick thing, two quick things before I bring it up. Apparently, there will be a PGA Tour game coming out, and 2K's making it.
Okay.
So now PGA Tour is now it's going to be PGA 2K21. So that's new. Apparently, there was news that Harvest Moon One World is coming to the Switch this year. So The Harvest Moon, I believe that was on PC. That has been on PC, is now coming to the Switch. Those are the two quick news. So, and the other piece of news, here's the Metroid Prime 4 one, is Retro Studios, speaking of Battlefield,
Mhm.
hires Battlefield and Star Wars artists as VFX lead.
Mhm.
Article reads VFX artists are responsible for designing and implementing in game special effects such as explosions, fire, smoke, special abilities, or weapon attacks.
Mhm.
Adad Morales, who previously worked on Battlefield Hardline and the canceled Star Wars Ragtag project at EA's Visceral Studio, has been hired as Retro's new VFX lead. It's been confirmed via VGC Reader. Morales also worked on a canceled StarCraft first-person shooter at Blizzard, according to his personal website. Some examples of his work can be seen via the video on the page. So there's some video of his work on there, but pretty much brand new VFX hiree for Retro Studios, and it's a big one. So the ball's now rolling
Mhm.
in the Metroid Prime 4 camp.
Mhm.
And now some big hires as of late, last few months. So at least there's some sort of ball rolling with Metroid Prime 4 currently. So big hire, big hire.
Exciting.
Yes.
Nice, nice. Well, before I end it, I'm just gonna shout out the GoFundMe real quick. Make sure you check us out, guys. GoFundMe.com/help PCG. As you know, coronavirus, the PCG Live Edition. We're still locked in our houses, so please be sure to help out any way you can, either by sharing the GoFundMe or supporting yourself. Support as little as $1 on as much as you want. We've had people donate, I think, up to like $100 to $200. So I want to thank everyone that's been supporting since we started the GoFundMe, and all the extra support people have been showing us by sharing and reaching out and wanting to do things and things like that. It's a very tough time for a lot of local businesses. Um,
Mhm.
we will not be one of the ones that are open on Monday. We don't have a time frame. We don't know when things are going to go back. It's a very slow process, but we also want to make sure everyone stays healthy and safe at the same time. So
Right.
that is our main focus. But once we do have a date, we'll let everybody know. We'll make an announcement, and I'm sure we'll party like PCG does. So, but again, just check out our GoFundMe .com/help PCG, and that will be fantastic. But next week, hopefully, we add Andre. I'm not even going to set a topic yet because the way things have been going, like our week has been
This is the, let
crazy.
me tell you, the last 2 weeks, even though last week was bad, the last 2 weeks have been crazy with news.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: the summer of gaming event that Keeley is running right now is absolutely nuts. Actually, I think he didn't he have like a big announcement that he made the other day.
I think there was supposed to be an announcement yesterday, but I missed it. So we got to look that up and try to get that information with that. So.
I'm gonna look that up like right now because then it's gonna be old news.
Mm. I'm
I don't.
surprised John isn't in the chat. He's probably doing something, but we'll reach out to Super John. Maybe we'll get some guest hosts on, and maybe we'll do like a Google meeting or something like that, and get
Yep.
everybody up there. Love to get everybody on here, so that way we can chat up some good conversations.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. All right, so he did a Oh, okay. All right. So tonight, actually, Jeff Keighley will be doing a stream at 9 o'clock
It,
Eastern time
okay,
to answer all questions about Summer Game Fest. No reveals this time, but he will be answering questions. So a Q&A with Jeff Keighley
cool.
tonight.
Maybe
So
I'll join. What is it? Twitch or Mixer?
let's
Probably
see.
YouTube.
Probably YouTube. Maybe all platforms.
Hmm.
More than likely, it's probably going to be on all platforms. So, 9 o'clock tonight, Jeff Keeley will be answering questions regarding Summer Game Fest. Definitely something to check out.
Hmm.
Maybe something to check out with everything that's going on and no E3. This is going to be huge this year.
Hmm. I agree. I agree. We need it. And who doesn't want a summer long of just news?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
And it's been good so far. I mean, now this week, like you said, the last 2 weeks, just the Xbox thing was just
Listen, the Xbox game was a downer, but freaking today we got let's all right. 2 days ago or yesterday, I forget, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2
Hmm.
remake.
Hmm.
Today, freaking Paper Mario drops a trailer, comes
Unreal
out in 2 months.
5,
Unreal 5, Ghost of Tsushima State
Shima.
of Play. By the way, Tony Hawk, we did not say this before, comes out September 4th.
Oh, yep, yep,
And if you pre-order it digitally, you get a warehouse demo when that releases
yep,
early.
yep.
So definitely pre-order because I'm definitely pre-ordering. I just need to know what system that everybody's pre-ordering on because I want to play multiplayer because it's going to be fun as hell.
I gotta go with the PlayStation.
I knew you were going to say that.
I gotta go with the PlayStation.
I have to take a vote. Let's put it that way. It has to be a whole vote
Mhm.
because some people might say PC, and I'm going to be like,
Oh yeah, just to let everyone know too, Epic, the thing kind of broke down on PC earlier. I think it's probably back up, but GTA 5 is free right now on Epic Store.
ah, that's true. Yes.
So for anyone that doesn't own it on PC that wants it on PC, GTA 5 is available.
Hmm.
So, but that's it for us this week, guys. Next week, who knows? We'll see what happens in the
We'll
news.
see what kind of news pops up.
And until next week, we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Peace.